Good evening. Good evening. We are back with another banger. It is Wednesday evening, and I am thankful to have you all here join with me on another episode of Women's Sports Talk Wednesday with MossBurgh. And as we go through the live stream, it'll be people jumping in and out as far as in the guys. I'm not going to tell you who will be jumping in, who will be jumping out, but definitely you'll see someone jumping in this evening. But I'm your host this evening, MossBurgh, Level Up Sports 10. And if you get a chance, definitely check out the Instagram. I'm getting my Facebook page worked on to present that to you all. But you can also tap into Joe Moss on Facebook because I publish a lot there as well. But it's good to see you all this evening. And shout out to the gang. That's WTP Sports Dudes. Parlay Poe of Blissburg. You have post game sports on the team as well, straight from South Bend, Indiana. We have One Take Zay, and we also have City League TV, not to forget about SEC Sean coming through with a lot of that great NASCAR talk. And when you see City League TV, you see a lot of things coming across when it comes to middle school, high school, volleyball. I mean, every sport you could think of, City League TV, we are trying to get every bit of the action. So definitely tap into our Facebook page as well. We do a lot on there also. But I'm not going to hold anyone up this evening. We are here and we are talking about women's sports. And the main subject of talk tonight is conversation on the NCAA. We see a lot of those Player of the Year awards, um, and all those things have been coming out, all American lists, things of that nature. If you have any comments, feel free, put your comments in the chat. You are more than welcome to let us know and give us your thoughts on some of these teams that you see out there: first, second team, freshman of the year, defensive player of the year, so on and so on. Even your number one seeds as well as your number two seeds. Because we know the number one overall seed is probably one of the toughest things this year. And we'll get to all of those talks as we continue on the double and dabble this evening. But again, I'm your host, Mossberg of Level Up Sports 10, and we are here to talk about the women's basketball on that NCAA level. And the one thing that I can say is I'm so pleased to see all the women in college out here putting on a show for us this year. And I think just the women in sports, not just college basketball. I don't want to leave anyone out when it comes to the women. And we appreciate everything you do. I appreciate everyone tuning in. So make sure you leave a comment, like, subscribe as well when you're in the video. As many people as we see coming in, definitely hit that like button. We are greatly appreciated. But on the women's side of sports, it's been uncanny. It's been, when I say something to watch, if you haven't watched, you're missing out on so many great things. We could pick 365 days out of the year to talk about a woman and their sport respectively, and you'll get a definite biography. But I'm here to talk about the NCAA, and we see all America's first and second teams were announced. Give us some of your thoughts on that. If you listening and tuning in the comments, please feel free to like I said, subscribe and comment as well. Because for that first team, you had Sarah Strong from UConn with Lauren Betts from UCLA, Michaela Blakes out of Vandy, Azzy Fudd, the three-point sniper teammate of Sarah Strong out of UConn, and Hannah Hidalgo. And I was about to say Hidalgo, as we say, growing up in the neighborhood. So Hannah Hidalgo, with that first team, and that's a tough first team when you speak of All American. And I would say if you could make the women's the way they've played, you could almost make that women's All American team to a 6-player, 7-player, almost 10 on one side. I mean, the women's definitely been dominant, and we've also seen some freshmen on the women's side, and I'm going to get to that later on as we continue to talk. And when you think about some of these players on this first team, I know we haven't mentioned some that some people will feel, who myself think one who I love, been watching her game since day one, should be on this first team. But I understand the committee. I'm not part of the committee. It's just my opinion. But Sarah Strong, for sure. Lauren Betts, for sure. Michaela Blakes, 30 points a game in conference play. That means she's going out, she's putting on the show every time the fans are there to support. And that's just a way to continue to not just bring those fans in, but that's a way of showing your support for them being there in that crowd and giving that type of effort. And shout out to all these women that I'm naming, Mrs. Strong, Miss Betts, Miss Blakes as well. And we get to Azifa, who's been not just a partner in crime with Batman, Robin, however you call it, but I'm gonna say a little Catwoman because she just continue to knock down threes and just play her role with this UConn team and help Sarah Strong just be that great player that she is. Because I think without Azzy Fudd, Sarah Strong wouldn't be as great of a player as she is. And same for Azzy Fudd when it comes to Sarah Strong. Just my opinion. And just watching those two play, it's a great thing to see as they have 3 years straight consecutive conference victories. So when you 3 years in a row to run through your conference undefeated, that's something to speak for. And next, last but not least, post game, I wish you was here in the building because I know you'll be ranting and raving about the young lady that you feel is not just on the Wooden Award, but you feel she is the winner of that Wooden Award in Hannah Hidalgo. 16 steal game. I think she's had 4+ games with 10 or more steals, which is crazy work, diabolical. But when I say that, just goes to show how much she studies the game. And when you have a young lady in her craft being a defensive player, not just a leader for that team, she's going out night after night, giving it her all. She's leaving everything on the floor, as we know, and as we've seen throughout this season. And myself, I just can't wait to see what type of show she puts on for March Madness. Is she gonna make them dance, move, jiggle, wiggle? I don't know. Hannah Hidalgo, we see you. Post game, he definitely would love to have that one-on-one talk with you as well. But we definitely respect all the names above that we've had spoke on so far on this first team. And when you speak of this first team, you can really look at this first team, which is crazy for me to just sit here and say this or even think about it, but I have my opinion and I can't say that. If you was to take this five and take this five to the WNBA as an expansion team, what's your thoughts on them in 3 years? Just saying, an expansion team, when you add players to it, you never know. As I'll get to with the second team. And the second team, I'm going to start off with my girl. I've been talking about her from the first time I've seen her play since we started talking women's basketball on the podcast. Even, I think, we were talking about college basketball, and I mentioned the name, Maddie Book, Madison Booker, Germantown legend. I'm going to say that right now on live because you're special. I love watching you play basketball. The tournament run that you just went on with your Texas Longhorn ladies, and you hooked everything in the way, and you had one goal in mind, which was to win that SEC championship. Shout out to you and your Longhorns, Maddie Book, Rory Harmon as well, and what you ladies were able to accomplish this season in your second year in that SEC. And it's not an easy conference, and we all know that. And just, when you think about Madison Booker, she not just wears the number 35. She's now part of Team KD in that Nike situation, in the Nike format. Everything with Madison Booker, I've watched her, and I know she shies away from being Kevin Garnett. Kevin Durant. I'm gonna call you Lady KD the female version of KD. And respectively, to KD, the way you wear that 35, you in Texas, you know, you've handled that, from a leader, um, being that great player that you are. You've always just got out on the floor and you perform. A lot of people don't understand sometimes getting caught up in the game. You may say things or you may look a little physical or frustrated or whatever. That's basketball. That just shows how much you love the game and not to keep bobbling. But Matty Buck, shout out to you, man, here at MossBurgh from Level Up Sports. I appreciate what you have been blessing us with, and I can't wait to see what you do in this NCAA tournament. And next we have Joyce Edwards, one of the quiet, one of the unknown, one of the 19.6, 6.3 rebounds, and 2.4 assists for a South Carolina team who some people didn't know how they were going to withstand being that dynasty. But guess who's been able to come along and be in a position of that forward, that centerpiece of a team that can come back. She's only a super sophomore. So make sure you remember the name Joyce Edwards. I think she could have possibly three-peat and being an All-American, but for sure back-to-back first-team All-American if she stayed 4 years. She's really that good. And I think while she's there, she could definitely bring a championship back to South Carolina. Doug Jones, we appreciate you tuning in. Lady KD, I like it. Yes, indeed. I can go on and on. I could really write a book about Madison Booker. She's special. And if, like I said, you just have to watch her. You just have to see what she's doing. And as I was saying, even about Joyce Edwards, you think of Asia Wilson and flashes in a way you see how she moves and does her thing around the rim. But like I said, back-to-back first-team All-American Joyce Edwards, I see you up in your game next year. 25 points a game, possibly, and 10 rebounds with a couple added assists because I know you'll draw that attention in the way and how you play your game. Good evening, and it's good to see you in here, Doug. Let me know what you think about that first team as we go down this second team of the NCAA on the women's side of these All-American teams. And I'm on the second team, and that second team, you had Madison Booker, you had Joyce Edwards, and now we get to Olivia Miles, the TCU guard, the transfer from Notre Dame. And I think of the relationship that her and Hidalgo had, great thing. I think when you think of two young ladies that's wanting to grow and be better in their career, make a name for themselves, make it to that next level, they'll continue to text each other, laugh with each other, probably talking on the phone right now. Hey, wish you luck in the March Madness tournament, all those good things, conference tournaments. Olivia Miles is special as well. Every woman, every athlete, every player that I'm naming, when it comes to the women, I think we have to understand and respect that it takes a lot to go out, put on the shorts, put on the cleats, the ballet shoes, have your fencing knife, have your boxing gloves, have your cricket bat, have your rugby gear, have your speed skates on. Everything you women do as a sport, it's not easy. And we appreciate you here at Level Up Sports Day, here at WTP Sports News, the whole gang, we appreciate you. And back to Olivia Miles. When she transferred, I was kind of like, wow, why would, she leave? And as I spoke, I understand it. Watching her come and be a leader in a team to where no identity was completely known. Olivia Miles came to the TCU team, put more to that team, gave that team not just life, but gave that team direction of we could win a conference tournament. We could get into this NCAA tournament and possibly make it to somewhere we haven't been before. So when you speak of Olivia Miles, you got to think she's not just excelled in what she do offensively. She's become a defensive prowess. Her IQ is on 1,000. Olivia Miles can play basketball. We will definitely see you in a draft pick when that WNBA calls your name. And I can't wait for March Madness. All these names that we speaking on to do what they do, make them dance, and give us fireworks. Next but not least, right here in our hometown, Jelani, we see you. Cambridge, and I'm not talking Calvin, I'm not talking like Mike, I'm talking Jelani, Cambridge, down there at OSU at the Shotstein Center. 22.8, 5.6 rebounds, 4.6 assists, one take, Zay. I know this is your girl. I know you running the Raven about her even being not just Defensive Player of the Year, but winning that Wooden Award as well. Because when you think about this OSU Buckeyes basketball team, and you think about how far they've come since Jelani Cambridge has been a Buckeye, this team has done major things. They've performed, and I think she's not only upped her game and overall, she's just become a leader at a young age. And when you're able to see that with some of these guards and just these athletes, period, you have to tip your hat to that because it's not something easy to do when you're surrounded by seniors. You may come in as a transfer player or you just coming in trying to figure out your game and how you can mesh with your team. But Jelani Cambridge has came in and been all that, a bag of chips. I'm not talking about Frito Lays, but I'm talking about them Grippos. You know, they be coming from here to there to try to get some of them Grippos. So Jelani Cambridge, we see you and we appreciate what you're doing. And last but not least, I don't know why I did it this way, but we going up north. I apologize, but we going up north. But we gonna see a diamond in the rough. Nobody even pays attention to Olivia Olson. I see you balling up north, and she single-handedly can drop a 30 ball and you won't even know it. You'll just hear them saying Olivia Olson, and you'll be trying to figure out who Olivia Olson is. I'm here to tell you, you might want to watch this Big Ten tournament. You might want to watch Olivia Olson through March Madness as well because she's just an impeccable player. She goes out, she leaves it on the floor night in, night out. She's averaging about 20 points a game, not just 20 points a game, about 5, 6 rebounds, and about 4 assists. So she's giving you each like every aspect of the game. And when you think about that and how tough it is in women's basketball, seems like the competition is getting stiffer and stiffer. It's growing by the year. So for me, Olivia Olson, I'm loving what you're doing in Ann Arbor, and you single-handedly, along with your counterparts and weapons that you have, and I'm gonna call them mass destruction because if y'all hit that 3 ball, y'all could get it going. Y'all could definitely be a dangerous team as well in this NCAA tournament. So those are the 10 players. You have first team, you have second team. Some people was wondering where Audie Crooks was. You know, you had Reagan Beers from Oklahoma. You had Cody McMahon out there. You have Roy Harmon as well as Flau'jae Johnson. You also had Chavez out there from Oklahoma as well. And you also had all these other great women that I'm sure when you think about All Americans it's a name that you thought may have been on those first 2 teams, but that just goes to tell you, it goes to show how tough and how deep it is when it comes to women's basketball and how much better it's getting by the day, by the year as well. Next is the #1 overall seed tough. I think this year's #1 overall seed has probably been the toughest choice because you got UCLA who's quietly continue to take down opponent after opponent. And we just seen the thumping they put on, and they just took a route to that Big Ten championship. Not to mention what Texas did. And we know UConn is on consecutive, not 1, not 2, but 3 straight years winning this conference undefeated. This is tough. If you have your thoughts, leave your comments. Who is your number one overall women's seed this year for the NCAA March Madness tournament? And even your thoughts as far as if they finish a certain place in a conference tournament coming off the way they played. I don't know. You let us know what's your thoughts on this number one overall. It's just crazy. Even the number two seeds. What's your thoughts on the number two seeds? Give us your thoughts on those as well. I'm gonna come back to one of the questions because I have quite a couple others to get to as well. And one of the things that I was going to talk about, I wish my man Post Game was here because we got the defense player of the year. There's awards out, and it's a lot of awards that's been given out. Defensive player of the year, things of that nature. Give us your thoughts. Who's your winner of that rewards, but respectively, when it comes to women's player of the year, defensive player of the year was Hannah Hidalgo, and I think when we think of the defensive player of the year, for Hannah's height to not just get 10 steals or just 16 steals in one game, 10 plus in multiple games is a feat that you just don't hear about. That's a tenacious defender, and to turn it around and go flip side and get buckets on the offensive side, that just shows the fight, the hunger in your game, and the want to be great and carry your team. And she's doing a wonderful job of that this year. The next was freshman of the year. And the freshman of the year, I think a lot of people, Aaliyah Chavez, you had USC's Jazzy Davison out there balling. And then you had, Aubrey Galvin over at Vandy. Now, this was an interesting, not 6'7", but an interesting talk in freshman of the year because a lot of people thinking, Chavez doing her thing, 8-time freshman of the week, averaging 18 plus points a game, and she's all SEC second team. But Jazzy over there doing her thing at USC, she's something special. She's 17.6 a game, 5.7 rebounds, 4.2 assists. And we're talking about freshmen. We talk about it on the men's side, but we're talking about women tonight. These three freshmen are excellent freshmen. And when you talk about Aubrey Gavin, a Vanderbilt team, preseason ranked eighth to win to fall in the conference at eighth. They're not just beyond that eighth position. They're 6 spots up. They're second in the conference. And she's a big factor in why they play like that, along with her teammate Michaela. And for Michaela and Aubrey to have that connection when they playing together in SEC play, Aubrey was averaging double figures, 14, almost 15 points a game, 5.1 assists, 3 rebounds a game. You can't ask for much more from a freshman in women's basketball playing in the SEC. We know how it gets down in the SEC. It gets dirty. And to play against another freshman and Aaliyah Chavez, that game they faced off, oh boy, this was the heater. Aubrey went for 30. Aubrey went for 30. Chavez, 14. I think that was I would say the biggest deciding factor. Now, if they were able to face, Jazzy, I didn't get to look at that. I didn't check that. But definitely keep your eyes on these three women because I think in the years to come, we'll definitely see some great battles again, for sure, next year from Aubrey and Aaliyah, of sure, Miss Chavez as well. So just stay tuned in to these great freshman women that we're seeing in college basketball because it's just something to see. And I can't wait till the March Madness tournament. I keep speaking about it, but I think I've been so ready. And I think that brings me to the next question. I think it brings me right to it. And I appreciate that. Zay, he said, how great is it watching women's college basketball. One take, Zay, I'm here to tell you. Right now, I keep hitting the left. 43-38. I'm checking my boy AJ DeBansa out as they take on the West Virginia Mountaineers in this Big 12 tournament right now. And DeBansa, 19 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. I'm sorry, ladies. That's my guy. I got to shot him out sometimes when I do. But back to women's college basketball. It's great. If you don't watch the March Madness tournament on the women's side, you're going to be missing something special. And you're talking about sensational freshmen. You're talking about the All American teams. You're talking about a Lady Kevin Durant in this tournament. You're talking about Strong and Fudd. Steph Curry is Steph Curry. But if you see Ozzy shoot the ball, you'll understand what I mean. She's a sniper. She could shoot the ball. She could just fill that up when she's open. If you leave her open, it's over with. And when you talk about Michaela Blakes, Lauren Betts, Joyce Edwards, Olivia Olson, Olivia Miles, Hedda Hidalgo. What else do you want me to say? Oh, Jelani Cambridge, right here in our hometown. Them Buckeyes gonna put on a show. I think on the women's side and the men's side, it's very possible this year. So if you haven't watched no women's basketball, I'm telling you, you must tune in. You must tune in. You must tune in. Even the conference tournaments that's still going on the women's side, tune into those because I've been looking to see the Miami, Ohio women's possibly face off against the Ohio Bobcats women. The battle of, Ohio. Just looking at a lot of crazy stuff, man, when it comes to college sports. But this women's basketball season has definitely been one to see. And when you think about Audi Crooks, the performance she's putting on, 25.6 points a game. Michaela Blake's 21.7. Cody, she's out there, 19.9, 5.3 rebounds, 3 assists a game. Hannah Hidalgo, 25.2. What? One of those things that I noticed is three of them, they're top three scorers in the nation. They're not even on for the Wooden Award or the Wooden Awards list. So a lot of things, man. You some things is kind of tough to look at in ways, but overall, I just think women's basketball is great. I think we're in for a great tournament coming. And if you, like I said, if you haven't watched any women's basketball, it's a must that you do. And outside of some of the things that I was going to get into when it came to the women's side, because I needed post game for one, because I was going to ask his opinion on one of his great players. But Coach of the Year, Mr. Shea Ralph over at Vandy, done a great job. And I just spoke on Michaela Blake's 30.5 SEC games this year, special. Aubrey Galvin, special freshman. And when you think of Coach of the Year, I know when you win take a team 3 consecutive years winning in your conference. But when you selected to be eighth, you have, I believe, a junior senior leader in Blake's, and you bring in and you recruit this sensational freshman no one knows about. She just plays her role. She goes out there and she plays. She lets the game come to her. And Aubrey, I think we have to shout out a lot of these freshmen, not a lot, all of these freshmen across the sports platform because they've definitely been gracing us with their presence this season. And I've been enjoying every bit of your presence this season as you freshmen have been doing some great things. And I do have to get a sip of that coffee, if you know what I mean. But outside of women's basketball, shout out to, my mom who birthed me, my sisters here, they're getting their survivor on. My sisters down in Texas, um, my daughters, my nieces, my nephews, my cousins. Um, I know I said nephews, but every woman throughout and across the world, man. We just appreciate what you do. Um, there's not a day that go by that, us gentlemen don't think about, our mom, our sisters, our nieces, our aunts, our, you know, significant other, as well as our daughters. So it's so many things, that we are very appreciative for you women for this National Women's Month. And I'm gonna continue. Every Wednesday you see this face and you see MossBurgh. It's gonna be the homies if we join in together. If not, it's gonna be another screen and it's gonna be a woman. As next week we have Alyssa Jones, aka Jonesy. We're gonna be talking a little bit of softball, and I can't wait. And I just want everyone to continue to stay tuned in to MossBurgh of Level Up Sports 10 because when we come here on this platform, we don't just come to talk, walk, do what we do. We're not here for clicks and giggles. We here for what we love to do. And this is something that, you know, was spoken in ways that I never seen it coming, you know, didn't imagine. But as it continues to move and surface itself, it's it's like, man, this is the calling that's been there that I didn't know. It was just different parts of life that was put in to where it became what it is today. So when you see me, you're gonna continue to hear me speaking about the podcast, talking about WTP Sports News, all the guys that you see flowing at the bottom. We're gonna be talking about also one of those sponsors. You got KT Good Eats, ladies and gentlemen, this weekend, 12 to 6 p.m., 2040 Lockbourne Road on that south side of Columbus, Ohio. Make sure you come out for that good eating. If you seen my Level Up Sports 10 Instagram, make sure you go see it. I dropped a video on there for everyone to get a little glimpse of what we will be having this weekend, minus the meatballs. But everything else will be on there. But I definitely want to give a shout out to the guys, man. City League TV, SEC Sean, One Take Zay, Post Game Sports. All these guys, you could definitely tap into their YouTube channel. Go like, subscribe. We also got Parlay Poe of Blissburg. Doug, we see you in the comments straight from Texas. We can't wait. We're gonna try to get Doug something. We're gonna try to get Doug going soon enough. We see you, Doug. We're gonna try to get you rolling. We know it's a busy time. Got a lot of things going on. We're gonna try to get you some live action coming straight live from Texas. And we know that weather, how good it's gonna be. And the seasons is changing for that good weather as far as in them sports going on there too. So we see you. But we can't forget about the man that put us all together. When I got that phone call, I was hurt. I had tore my meniscus, broke a bone in my knee, and I couldn't play basketball. Still to this day, I haven't hooped like I used to hoop in a while, man. I still got it. Don't think I don't, but I just haven't stepped out on the court. I'm about to go through my workout, but since I got that call from Unc, man, I appreciate it. He's the man that put us all together at WTP for Life. Make sure you go check the page out. We have our web page up, WTPSportsNews.com. You can go check out a personal story and a little insert snippet of a song. And as I told you, and as I continue to tell you, your story, your documentary, and bits and pieces from Mossberg will be coming to you. If you check out the Instagram, I've been leaving little snippets here and there to let you know what's coming. And just stay ready because when I go live and indulge in the documentary, it's going to be live footage coming from places where I grew up, places that still have some of the same courts. It still hold the same memories, even if the buildings around it change, maybe where I went to school at for elementary, but the areas is still the same. And I'm gonna give you an in-depth look and just see how it was growing up for me. Even having some of the people speak that I grew up with, former high school teammates, coaches as well. I'll be reaching out to you. So make sure, man, you tap in. This is something I love to do. And I'm so appreciative to come to you every time that I can throughout the busy schedules that we all have. When we come to you, we coming to you live and direct. We loving what we do, and it's just a part of life that we never knew really was sitting here. And we had post game. Hidalgo is on the wooden list, and there it is. She is on the wooden list along with. I think I said it wrong, post. And I'm glad you went here because when I was mentioning that it was the top three scorers, it was some stat I was looking at, and it didn't have the top three scorers on there, which was crazy to me. But Hannah Hidalgo is on there. I know you rooting for. I'm rooting for Maddie Book. I'm going straight for my girl Maddie Book. I know it's going to be tough, but the way she just balled out in this SEC tournament, the way she put Texas on her back, second season in a big SEC, and it's a title. Lady KD, I don't think it's going to get any better than that when you talking Texas basketball right now. When you talk Texas basketball, you're gonna say 35, and it's KD and Lady KD. Maddie Book is just that to me. I feel how you feel about Hannah Hidalgo, about Maddie Book, and now she's that Team KD with that Nike. Maddie Book is special. Hannah Hidalgo is special. I appreciate you tuning in post game because I was about to step off, but make sure you go check out post game YouTube channel. When I say he breaks down so many different things when it comes to Hannah Hidalgo, and let me put that comment on there. Hidalgo is on a wooden list. He's so Hannah Hidalgo. There's nothing you can't tell him that she can't do, but she showed us all that she could do everything. And I think this year's Wooden Award is probably the toughest award in basketball, and that's on the women's side, respectively on the men's side as well. These freshmen in college basketball, along with this leadership that they've had, along with them, and some teams having that leader that has to do what they do and lead their team, like a Michaela Blake's, like a Hannah Hidalgo, like a Lauren Betts, like a Maddie Book. So when you have players like that, and you also have other freshmen and pieces that's just oozing with talent, it just makes it so much better. But outside of that, any thoughts or anything that you have when it comes to the women this evening? And it's good to see you in here as well post game. Any other thoughts or comments you would like to talk about this evening? Make sure you hit the like button. And that's Post Game Ports, as he's in the comments as well. Just wanting to show and let everybody know. And as we are getting close, yes, indeed, ACC Player of the Year, as well as Defensive Player of the Year. And I mean, when you trying to think for me, when you think about the 4+ games, 10 steals, then you think of 16 steals in one game. I'm still trying to figure out the last time I heard of that on the men's side, let alone the women's side. That's defensive prowess at its fullest. And I think that when you speak of Hannah Hidalgo, it's just greatness. It's a lot of these women that we've talked about since we've been doing these shows that it's nothing but greatness. You can see them excelling at the next level, not just 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. I think we can see Hannah Hidalgo really doing her thing for some years to come and just continue what she do and build not just waves of greatness after her, but all those alongside her and attached to her. She can continue to make great as well. But as for myself, post game, ladies and gentlemen, all across the world, anyone who's tuned in, make sure you go not just watch and see the video, you hit that like button. You go to those channels, you hit the like, you hit the subscribe, you turn those notifications on, and you stay tuned. Stay tuned in because tomorrow we got an evening coming for you. And we're going to be talking men's. college basketball is my thoughts. But we got post game hosting tomorrow evening. And when you got post game hosting, you just got to be ready because you don't know what's coming. I try to give you something in advance just to give you a teaser of what's possibly to come. But we've been talking women's, and it's just crazy how much we've been blessed in seeing these great women play the game of not just basketball. Like I said, every crazy sport in the world that we might not even as men try to challenge and do, but they're out here doing and being so great at it. So we definitely got to get these women throughout the rest of this month and continue throughout the rest of the year and the days that we breathe on this earth, the respect they deserve. And just that, hello, if you see a woman and you walking down the street and they look at you, hello, happy National Women's Month. It's appreciated. And we don't even know it. I said it to someone a few days ago and they really appreciate it. And I was just at work. So it's greatly appreciated from myself to you all women. And from here, WTP Sports News. It's your boy, it's MossBurgh, and I got that City League TV shirt on. And we know everybody just chilling out, kicking it, and I am watching my BYU Cougars 52-42. More of a defensive game in this second game, trying to get the second victory in the Big 12 tournament. Hold on, AJ DeBanson, he has it. He swings it. He has it in the corner for three, and he swings it to his boy Davis for three. Off the swing, and BYU is up by 13. And we are sitting here, Kennard Davis, first half three, second half 12 points. Kennard Davis has been a defense, but a three-ball specialist in this game. BYU Cougars up 13, Big 12 championship. Ladies, we appreciate everything you do. This is your boy MossBurgh. We're going to be bringing you one of these live streams. We don't know which game, but we got to come to you live. And it just might be the BYU Arizona. And that's what MossBurgh of Level Up Sports 10 has cooking up and thinking about for him in his Big 12 championship. Because I think AJ DeBanson can take my BYU Cougars there and get this revenge tour taken care of. And it's come back on from a commercial break as the kick came from Robert Wright the third. Davis knocked down the three ball in the corner. And I just don't think it get any more special for that. Sorry. I'm going into the talks of the men's basketball, and it's the men's Big 12 tournament. He had 15 last night. He had 12 in the second half. He had 15. Well, he had 12 tonight. So I'm going to just say this. Davis, 30, been a difference maker for my BYU Cougars as we watch West Virginia swing the ball around, have a head fake, and a shot. Robert Wright defends well. BYU on the glass and gets the rebound to Kata. Robert Wright's bringing it up the court. He's calling the play, and he's bringing it down. This court, this lead court that we are sitting here watching this evening is great, ladies and gentlemen. The ball swings, and he's swinging it back around the basket. Up top, he swings it off the hezzy, and he got it up top again. Through his legs a couple times. The swoop, and he no foul call. And then the turnover. It's okay, AJ. Get it back on defense. West Virginia comes back down. They kicks it to the post. Soft double. Kicks it back out to the top. West Virginia do around the arc to the wing. Little defense coming from Davis. Davis D's him up and he gets the ball. No, it's knocked off. And is it a foul call on Davis Jr.? Ooh, a tough foul call on Davis Jr. Ooh, Davis Jr. He kind of looking at it like, I don't know about that call, ref. Give me a break. I was playing great defense as he was. West Virginia at the free throw line, 4-1-1. Oh, and he misses a free throw hard off the front of the rim. Rebound BYU. Robert Wright bringing it up the court for the Cougars. BYU Cougars bringing it around. AJ DeBanson with the pick up top. Trying to get it to AJ on the wing, and he gets it isolated. AJ DeBanson on the wing. He's dribbled. He's moved. He steps back, puts another move, and he swings it to Davis Jr. gets it around the arc, going to the cup. He gets it blocked and gets it back off the catch and puts it in for two. Davis Jr., he's out here looking like a monster in this second half. And he has 17 total points, 6 of 9 with 3 rebounds. And he is having a coming out party in this Big 12 tournament. 15 last night, 17 plus 2 tonight. What can you say about Kennard Davis Jr. and his play for the BYU Cougars? Defense on the edge, and they're trying to swing it around the perimeter, and it is a travel. A.J. DeBasso with great defense on the baseline on Lorian. Timeout called, and that takes us to the less than under 4 timeout. BYU up 15. The defense that we've seen from the BYU Cougars on Honor Huff has been great this evening. I don't think they want anything to end when it comes to this Big 12 tournament, headed and trying to get to the championship and a better seeding for the NCAA tournament. But this is your boy MossBurgh of Level Up Sports 10. I'm not going to keep you too long or too late this evening, but just make sure you lock in. You stay tuned in, and you like and subscribe to all the channels you see. And we appreciate you staying up this evening with me this late, this great, for a Sports Women's Talk Wednesday. And as we always do, we was in the building. We was out. Peace. Level Up Sports 10, MossBurgh. Appreciate you all for joining and tuning in this evening.